To the lesson on orientation, I want to go through the user interface that we currently have within CapCut. And I say currently because you're able to manipulate each panel. So the first thing to do is address the panels that we have. Toward the top left hand side we have the media panel. The middle we have the player panel. The right hand side we have the adjustment panel. And at the bottom we have the timeline panel. If for whatever reason we want to minimize, pop out or remove a panel completely, we can go over to the workspace icon in the top right hand corner of the screen, click it, and we get this drop down menu which allows us to select whichever panel we may be interested in. I'm going to go ahead and click the timeline first option, and straight away you can see the timeline has actually popped out of its position. If I click on this black bar, I can drag and move the timeline around the screen, and if I hover over the three dots in the center, I have three options. I can restore back to its original position, I can go full screen, or I can minimize the timeline completely. I'm going to go ahead and restore the timeline back to its original position. For those of you who are familiar with my style of content creation, I tend to leave everything on the default setting. It's also worth noting, next to the workspace panel icon you have shortcuts. So if I go ahead and click shortcut, this will go ahead and bring up a set of shortcuts applicable to your operating system in relation to the timeline, player, basic, and other. You could go ahead and change the shortcuts by simply clicking on the shortcuts to modify them. And toward the top right hand side we have this drop down menu which has a set of presets. So for example, currently the shortcut to split or cut a video clip on your timeline is Command B. So for example, the shortcut one on the Mac, if I'd like to split a video clip on my timeline, I'd need to press Command B. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to scrub my playhead further down the timeline and I'll press Command B. You can see this has created a cut or a split to my video clip. If I go ahead back into shortcut and change my preset to shortcut 2, we now can see that the split shortcut is Command K. I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and if I move my playhead further down the timeline and press Command B again, nothing happens. However, if I press Command K, there we go, I've created another split. Once again, I'm just going to go back into shortcuts. The default preset for CapCut is shortcut 1, hit save, and there we go, we're ready to begin editing our project. The workspace and orientation within CapCut are very similar to Final Cut Pro, extremely user friendly and quite smooth. However, within CapCut there are some limitations that you will experience within each of these workspaces. This is something we'll explore further down the line. For now, let's hop into the next lesson and explore each of these workspaces further.